Good morning, everybody. How you doing? I have no idea how the signal is out there. In fact, I can't believe we have any signal at all with this kind of storm going on behind us. As you can see, we're in the heaviest of it right now. Literally, right now we're in the heaviest of it. Everything might shake a little bit, but welcome to the show. We're live from the Brilliant Lady. We're somewhere off the coast of Philadelphia. Now we have gone way out to sea. Normally, you just be coming down, hugging the coast as we go south, but we are way out to sea. If you have the app Cruise Mapper, you can see where we are. But we're heading south. The storm is going north, and supposedly, like this half hour to hour, this is going to be the worst of the storm. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel. Rebecca and I'd like to spend Sunday mornings with you guys for about an hour and a half, answering your questions about all things cruising. Today we happen to be on the Brilliant Lady again, the Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady. This is a 13-night cruise. I've got YouTube here, I got TikTok over there, so I'm sorry, I'm kind of looking back and forth. And we're actually stunned. Now, typically when the weather is this bad, the Wi-Fi signals just go out. When we got a lot of cloud cover, when we got a lot of rain, it messes with the satellite reception down here on the ship. But at the moment, it looks like we're getting really good signal. It's amazing. The ship is handling this weather incredibly. I put a video out this morning. In fact, I forgot to put it up on, I don't know if I put it on YouTube or not, but I put a video out this morning. The waves are actually relatively low compared to what they were about 10 minutes ago. They really kicked up, shuttering the whole ship. But for the most part, you can walk. There's a little bit of uphill, downhill walking, obviously. We've got a lot of waves going on, and it's just remarkable how well these ships handle, at least this particular ship, the Lady ship, handled this kind of weather incredibly well. Now, if you are prone to seasickness, this is not a good day for you because the ship is still moving around and shaking around. But relatively, we've been on ship in weather not even remotely close to what we've got going on right now, and it was much worse, much more swaying back and forth. Now our cabin is down on deck 8, so not a whole lot of movement. Hey Brandy, how are you? I didn't even say hello to everybody over here. So we got Phil and Sue, Silver Honda, Eric, Matt. How you doing, Matt? How's everybody doing? Good to see you, everybody. Hey Bill Stan, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, we really enjoyed Canada. Oh my gosh, Montreal and Quebec were absolutely stunning. And we went to Halifax and St. John. Had a great time at all those locations. So folks, if this is our first Canada New England cruise, this is part of why we did this cruise, because we wanted to come on here and just see, this whole Canada New England thing. And I got to say, it has not disappointed. Virgin Voyages has not disappointed, with their itinerary. We've now been on all 4 lady ships. This is our 8th time on Virgin Voyages. It's our first time hitting anything like this. All the outer decks are closed. Everything is completely closed. It's just too dangerous to be out there, out on the open decks. I was able to get on the balcony this morning. The balcony is very well protected, but all the open decks are closed. Hey Sherry, you saw the video last night. We were leaving Boston. That was kind of cool. As we were backing out, we were backing into the flight path of the planes that were landing at the Boston airport, and man, it almost looked like they were going to hit the ship. They were just coming right over the ship. That was pretty crazy, pretty cool to watch. Hey, good morning, Sassy. Oh, you're new here. You love the BB vlog. Well, thank you. So anybody who's new here, hey, we invite you to like, subscribe, share, do all those wonderful things that all the social media channels like you to do. And of course, if we can help you in any way, just reach out. Our services are 100% free to you. And we are a top 100 sales agent with Virgin Voyages in particular. And we're one of the top agents with KHM Travel Group as well. We're very proud of that. We're celebrating 3 years in business in 10 days. 10 days. October 22nd will be 3 years for Where's Walter Travel. And it's all thanks to you guys. It was the TikTok audience, social media audience that said, man, I wish you were a travel agent, when I was offering a lot of advice for years ago. And there you go. And it was on the Scarlet Lady that we met our first travel agent, who explained how all this stuff works. And so here we are. Hey, Tom, you're going to be on a Brilliant Lady in 47 days. Planning on seeing her in Charleston on Tuesday. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, if anybody's in the Charleston area, we're going to be sliding in on Tuesday morning. Cool for us because we used to live in Atlanta and we've been to Charleston multiple times by land. First time coming in by sea. So, hey, good morning, Doug. Good morning, Sandra. Thank you, Sherry, for the kind words. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. All right, Mike, I see your question. I'll be there in a second. Sassy asks, question, what time do the shows start in the evening? What time do I need to make dinner reservations? And how far along do you have to stand in line to ensure you get a seat? Well, three good questions. The shows kind of start at various times, to be honest with you. What they've been doing on this sailing, more so than I've seen them do on others, is they have been doing dual shows. Like Dual Reality has done an early show and a late show. Most of the shows in the Manor just do one show, but in the Red Room, no, the Manor, they've been doing two shows as well.
Okay. Some of them.
That's right. Yeah, some of the shows.
And it seems to be like the early shows 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and the late shows like 10 o'clock ish.
And for those of you new to the channel, that's my wife Rebecca sitting right off camera.
And remind people about using the word virgin.
Oh, yeah. So if you're watching on TikTok, you cannot use the word virgin in your question. So if you want to ask a question about Virgin Voyages, use the letters VV. So the shows are starting, say, anywhere between 5:30 and 7:30, and then like between 8:30 and 10 o'clock in the evening, depending on which shows they are. Dinner reservations, I would say either make them really early or really late. Like make them at like 6 o'clock in the evening, 6:30 in the evening, so you can go to a later show, or make them at like 9:15 in the evening, so you can go to an early show. And then, so right now, the last part of your question is how far along do you have to stand in line to ensure you get a seat? So right now, the lines are still very long.
If you're a regular sailor.
Yeah, if you're a regular sailor. If you're a rock star, the line is much shorter. And there are two lines. So they have a sailor line and then they have a rock star line that let the rock stars go first and then the sailors start in. We've been getting, and yes, we are rocking a bit. So that's not just me shaking around. That's us getting knocked around just a little bit. But again, still the ship's handling it amazingly. On this particular voyage, we've been getting in line about an hour and 10 minutes early. And Rebecca, at least once, got the very first, like she was the first person in line. Now, I have talked to Virgin Voyages about that in the past couple of weeks, and we're hoping that they're going to bring the reservation system back. A lot of sailors did not like the reservation system, so they got rid of it. But now that the ships are selling out and they're full, I think it's time for them to bring the reservation system back so that at least you know you have a seat. That was a big one. That was a big one that hit. So right now I would say if you want to make sure that you have a seat, I think you got to be in line at least 45 minutes before the show, at least, because once they fill, then if you're in the back half of the line and there's over 100 people in line, you may not get in. The Red Room is over 460 seats. The Manor is 250 seats.
So the Manor is definitely a little on the earlier side. You can maybe get in a little bit closer to showtime than the Red Room.
Yeah, the Red Room has more room. It has 460 seats. So Mike Smith wants to know if we have a favorite insurance company. So the insurance company that we use and that we recommend to our clients is Allianz, Allianz. They're a good company. And we've been very impressed with their claims process with our clients who have had to make a claim. I think we've had 5 clients or so that have had to make a claim during the 3 years that we've been in business, and we've been very, very impressed with how they handle the claim service, the process. We have seen some of the cruise line companies do it, and we were unimpressed with how the cruise line companies did it with the insurance claims. I'm not going to name the cruise lines, but we were kind of unimpressed with that. But Allianz is who we use. So, Brandy, thank you for the kind words. I've been super easy to plan with, and I answer emails as soon as I can. I do. I've been a little bit delayed on answering emails while we've been on this cruise, but I do try to answer questions as quickly as I possibly can.
And if you ever email Walter and he doesn't get back to you within, say, 48 hours, email him again.
Email me again. Yeah.
Because
I try.
It's possible your email may have gotten lost in a spate of emails.
It may have. Yeah. So, Darla, how are you? Good to see you. Silver Honda, is the key worth it? It's the key on Royal Caribbean. So on Royal Caribbean, they have an optional plan called the key. What Rebecca's rule of thumb with the key is if the pricing gets close to the price of the Wi-Fi, then the key may be worth it, because the Wi-Fi comes with it. The high-speed Wi-Fi comes with the key. But if there's a big discrepancy, then it's totally up to you. I don't think the lunch is worth it. It's supposedly the Chops Grill lunch in the main dining room. I was very unimpressed with that. I think the best part about the key is you get on early and you can drop your bags off, so you can go walk around the ship.
Yeah,
I
your
think those are the
carry-on
two.
bags.
Yeah, all the carry-on bags, you can just drop them off. I think those are the two best parts. So, oh, Aaron, this is a really good question. Aaron wants to know, does the Brilliant Lady feel crowded since no one is allowed outside? That's a really good question, Aaron. This is a warm weather ship. These are warm weather ships. They're designed for a lot of people to be sitting outside. Now, it's been cold, so everybody's been inside. I mean, we really only have deck 7 is your only full deck that's a public deck inside. Then you've got deck 6, which has, the roundabout area, but then a big chunk of that is you have the casino on a big chunk of that, and then you've got restaurant and the shops on the rest of that. So really, we just have deck 7. Yes, it does feel crowded on the ship. Not wall to wall crowded, but it's hard to find a place to sit. In the galley, it's hard to find a place to sit. Up here on deck 15, I'm actually sitting in gun bay. Is where I'm sitting. They open up gun bay for seating because the galley overflows. So for breakfast and lunch, you can actually sit in gun bay. So that's where I'm sitting. This is a Korean barbecue. But yes, this is the first time I've really noticed that. The first time that we've been on the ship when it's cold. And it's not that it feels crowded like I can't move through people. It's crowded in the sense that there's not a lot of seating available. It's not a lot of space just to sit, relax, chat. The ship doesn't really have multiple decks to spread people out. We've got deck 7, a little bit of deck 6, and then deck 15. So it feels crowded just in the sense that there's not a lot of space to sit. It's not crowded in the sense that I can't move around the ship. You can still move around the ship very, very easily. But there's going to be a lot of lines. There are going to be wait for things, like I'm used to just walking like into the dock house and just having a seat somewhere in the dock house. Woo! We got bottles falling. We got things flying. It's shaking. It's shaking.
Bad day for glassware.
There you go. Spike says, what was that shaking? That was the ship. That was the ship shaking. We are in the nor'easter. We're somewhere just south of Philadelphia right now. We have gone way out to sea. We're supposed to. Normally you would just kind of go down the coastline. So, but we're way out to sea. We're trying to get away from it. But how high are those swells? I would say they were probably pushing 10 feet at the highest. They got up there. If you saw my video this morning on TikTok or Facebook, those waves were still pretty small compared to what they were about 10 minutes ago. So yeah. So, this is your first Virgin Voyages cruise. What do you and Rebecca like most about Brilliant so far over the other lady ships? Oh, that's a good question. What do we like so far about, Rojo?
Yeah.
Rojo is one of the best restaurants in the entire fleet. Honestly, it really is really good. What else? Is there anything else in particular that we like about it?
Some of it, it's a little hard to tell whether it's Brilliant specific or fleet-wide specific, but I like the new menu in Gumbay.
Yeah. Yeah, Gumbay has a new menu in here. It's really good.
I do like that Extra Virgin, they're varying what's available depending on the ship. Yep.
So new menus and Extra Virgin, ship-specific items are now there. So
and I like that in the galley, at least one of my favorite places, Noodle Around.
Yeah.
They've been varying the menu. Like it was one menu the first part of the week, then it changed, and then it went back to the first part, and now it's back to the
Yeah.
So the menu's not staying exactly the same the whole cruise in every venue. So.
And we've been enjoying the C menu in the test kitchen. So they have an A menu, a B menu, and a C menu now. And when you come on board, you can actually ask what days are which. And we really like that C menu on there. Otherwise, the ships are very, very similar. They're designed that way. They're designed to be very, very similar. Oh, I like that they got rid of the vinyl record area, and they have this really cute little cubbies in there. They really opened up the draught house. So the draught house on some of the other ships, they have like this partition that they set up to kind of separate the draught house. Well, now the draught house is the entire deck 7 area. You'll just have to see it when you come on the ship. So that's really nice. So I think some of these changes that we're seeing on Brilliant Lady, they're going to roll out on the other ships as they go into dry dock, because these are simple. These are very simple things to do. Spike wants to know, can we talk about the quietness in the rooms? Where are the best rooms? Are you talking about the rooms themselves, like the state rooms? The rooms themselves are very quiet, actually. What we're noticing, though, we're on the wind side, the A side of the ship, which is the port side. And that's the wind side, and we are getting a good whistling sound coming into our room. Even with the door locked, we still got a good whistling coming into the room. But in terms of rooms being quiet, as long as you stay away from the manor and you stay away from
deck 14.
Deck 14, which is going to put you right underneath all the deck 15 stuff. The sweet spot for me is decks 10 to 12. That's generally where we put most of our clients, at deck 10 to 12. We're down on deck 8. We're absolutely loving it. I would not, and we can talk real quick about, we went ahead and got the slightly smaller sea terrace because it has the 2 hammocks on it. We just wanted to try it out and just see what is this all about. So yes, it has a very tiny balcony, and they made up for that by putting on 2 hammocks. Honestly, would not recommend the room if you think you're going to use those 2 hammocks, because there's not enough room for 2 hammocks on those balconies, wide enough. So like when you step out onto the balcony, the hammock on the left, my head is just mashed against the wall. That's not very comfortable, not very enjoyable. Rebecca, like the top of her head.
No, it's like kind of the side.
Yeah, kind
There's
of the side. So if you really just want to relax and swing in the hammock, I do not recommend the extra small seat. There's a slightly smaller sea terrace with the 2 hammocks. It's not a great hammock experience. If you want the hammock and you want to really experience it, then get one of the regular sea terraces with the hammock that has plenty of room for it to swing.
Just duel it out with your
otherwise,
roommate.
The room itself is great. I mean, it's the exact same room. Yeah, so it's the exact same room. So yeah, you're in Mallorca and it's beautiful, nice. We're in the Atlantic and it's gorgeous, as you can see behind me. Actually, it's getting better, believe it or not. It's actually getting better. I think we're starting to get south of it. The captain has done a great job on the ship, keeping us informed. In fact, we've had 4 announcements on this ship by the captain, and that's 4 more than the 7 previous voyages. They're known for the bridge crew being very quiet on the ship. They make very few announcements, but they've done a great job keeping us informed. 1, when we had to make the changes in Eastport, they had to call that one off. 2, they told us that we were going to have the extra day in Boston, so that was a fabulous surprise.
They did 2 announcements on the Eastport thing, then the one on Boston.
Yeah. And then they gave us an extra day in Boston, which was fabulous. That was our first overnight stay. It was lovely having an overnight stay in Boston, so that was absolutely great. Wow. Behind me, you can't see anything anymore. It's actually getting brighter, though. If you notice, maybe the sun's going to break through. Like I said, the captain has been running us further and further away from shore. I think he's just trying to get us way out around from the storm. I did notice that I believe there's a fuel bunker connected to us yesterday. So I believe they took on extra fuel so that they can run the stabilizers. When you run the stabilizers, you use more fuel. So I think they took on some extra. How do you find the daily activities for Royal Caribbean? They will start to populate in your app like shortly before the cruise. I mean, a little bit may populate way in advance, like the main shows, but then the rest of it will start to populate as you see. If you're asking about,
and if you're on an Oasis class or a Quantum class ship, you will be able to reserve the main shows before you get on.
They just want to know, how do they know, like, when's a formal night, a 70th night, and all of that.
Well, the formal night's always going to be a sea day.
Yeah. And as far as the parties and all of that, you're just going to have to. I would go on to Cruise Critic and ask, because that's actually up to the cruise director. The cruise director can set the schedule. So as for which night is going to be what event, I would probably go on to something like Cruise Critic and ask people who are on board the ship right now, what's the schedule been, and then they can tell you.
And it could vary, like say if your ship alternates between Eastern and Western Caribbean, it could be one schedule for the Eastern Caribbean part and a different one for the West.
Right. Should you book RoHo twice? I would. I would book RoHo every night of the cruise personally.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. Big Bob, 28 days until the MSC Seascape out of Galveston. Looking forward to the yacht club. Boy, that yacht club experience is fantastic. It's one of the best values at sea. MSC is one of the best values at sea. Sunny Cruiser is Cruise Critic an app? I don't know if they have an app, but it's certainly...
don't think so. They used to, but I think they got rid of it.
Yeah, it's a website, cruisecritic.net or .com,
I can't remember now.
Just look up Cruise Critic. That's all. Yeah, but it's a website. You can go on there. They have hundreds of forums on there where you can ask questions. So, Alex, ahoy from the Solo Lounge. So, Alex took off from New York City, I believe, yesterday as well, and he is heading down to New Orleans. What are you on? You're on the, I can't remember what ship you're on, Alex. The Getaway, Breakaway, Away, something away. Norwegian. But I hope you're having a great time. We're going to be out of this storm. As you can see, it's getting rather bright out there. So, and the waves are down. The waves are, even though it looks pretty rough out there, the waves are down from where they were. This ship is just handling it beautifully. Mike wants to know, where are we off of now? I don't have the cruise mapper. Before we started the show, showed us south of Philadelphia. So that's all I know. But we're way out to sea. We would typically be closer to the shore, but because of this weather, he's run us way out. So travel, it's good info on Gun Bay. You skip booking that restaurant because I thought the food was mediocre. It's not. If you're used to Korean barbecue at home, I will say, what was that last thing that she cooked for us?
The bulgogi.
Bulgogi? Yes, the bulgogi. Amazing. It was beef. She cooked it down on the thing. That was one of the best things that I've had on the ship. I am holding this phone in place so it doesn't fall over. So the food has gotten better on the on there, and I'll tell you this too: if you don't want to play the drinking game, they're not forcing you to play the drinking game. Our table did not want to play. Most of the table did not want to play, so we didn't do it, and it didn't change the experience whatsoever. In fact, we ended up having a lovely discussion. We keep running into one of the folks that we met there. So I think Gun Bay has gotten a lot better, for sure. Gun Bay is a lot better than it was, at least on this ship, on the Brilliant Lady.
Yeah, I don't know if the new menu's on all the ships, but I liked it.
Yeah. Tom, I'll be there in a second. Vanner wants to know, what's your favorite thing to do on a cruise? What?
Can I give my Gun Bay hack?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. A Gun Bay hack.
So a lot of times, some of the appetizers come with little dipping sauces.
Yeah.
Hold on to those dipping sauces for your main course, because then you can get a little extra flavor on the vegetables and the seafood.
Oh, and
the bulgogi has plenty of flavor bites.
And another hack that we saw last night in Pink Agave. Pink Agave, they have small plates, medium plates, and then they bring out the big plates. And I noticed a couple next to us had them bring out the potatoes, which the potatoes are a small plate, I think.
Medium, I think.
Maybe a medium plate. They had them bring out the potatoes with the main course, because usually they bring out the small plate, then they bring out the medium plate, then they bring out your main course. Well, they actually held back the potatoes until the main course. I thought, that's a good idea. They don't need to bring out the small plate, the medium plate, the big. You can actually say, look, can you bring these, bring the guacamole out with my steak, or bring this out with, so you don't necessarily have to have them do things in order. So I thought that was a pretty good hack. Vanna wants to know, what's my favorite thing to do on a cruise? On this particular ship, on Virgin Voyages, eat. The food is so good. And I drink a ton of coffee, because they have, I think, some of the best baristas at sea. I think Celebrity, Princess, and Virgin, they all have the best baristas at sea. They really do. Other than that, one of the things I really enjoy about this ship is that it is very much come as you are. So we really enjoy meeting our fellow passengers. It's a very different mix. This is a very different cruise than the other 7 that we've been on. This is a longer cruise. It's 13 nights, longest cruise we've been on.
With Virgin.
Yeah, for Virgin, it's by far the oldest crowd that we've been on. The crowd is more like what I would expect to find on Princess Celebrity. So it's been kind of a different dynamic. But I really do love this. Is a very social ship. You tend to meet your neighbors more on this ship just because of the way it's set up, and I think that's one of my favorite things on here. The other thing, we try to catch all the drag shows, all the shows with the diva, because they're so fun. It's the only cruise line that I know of that you can do that. So they're usually really, really fun shows. And most of their shows are good. They're starting to add more comedians. They've got this guy on here who just calls himself a nerd. He's a gaming nerd. He was absolutely hilarious. He's got another show coming up shortly. But they've been bringing on more comedians of late, which is good. So the shows and the food really on this particular ship, I absolutely love it. Now, like you get me on a Royal Caribbean, the big shows are amazing, and then like you get on the water park, and do they have a casino? Absolutely, they have a casino. It's like a James Bond casino, non-smoking, by the way. So absolutely no smoking in the casino. They have a smoking room, but no smoking in the casino. Tom, how do I think the cruise experience will be for brilliant lady passengers in Alaska? Interesting. I think it will be interesting. Again, this is a warm weather ship. It's not really designed for cold weather. So when everybody's inside, it's a little bit crowded. However, in Alaska, there's probably going to be a lot of people outside who are enjoying, the scenery and the landscape and all of that. You do tend, even though it's cold, you put your jackets on, you get your hot chocolate, you get your coffee, and you go outside. Here, it was just cold. Nobody wanted to go outside. There was nothing to look at. And I'll be very, very honest. You guys know I love Virgin Voyages. We're a top 100 sales agent for Virgin Voyages. If you want to go to Alaska, this is not the cruise line that I'm going to start out with. I think it's very interesting that they're going to Alaska. They have two specific itineraries. That if you really want to go to Alaska on Virgin Voyages, they have two that have Hubbard Glacier. That's it. They only have two that have Hubbard Glacier. Then I would look at those if you really want. I get why you want to do this ship in Alaska. There's no kids. It's a great vibe, wonderful crew, great food. So I get why you would want to do this in Alaska. But this is not a cruise line that I would start the conversation with Alaska if you just came to us and said, hey, we want to go to Alaska. So is the spa nice? Yes, the spa is very nice on this ship. It's small, but it's very nice. In fact, I think this ship has has the largest one of all of them, and it has a couple of new features. We need to get down there and do some stuff. Whoa! Aaron wants to know, how has the itinerary changed due to the storm? Actually, nothing to do with the storm. The storm did not change it at all. The only thing that changed was when we went into Eastport, Maine. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was just too windy for the tenders to operate. So they called off Eastport, and we did 2 days in Boston. But this storm has had no effect at all. We're still heading down to Charleston. We're still going to get to Charleston in 2 days. So great question, Aaron, but nothing there. Question, you're going to book Pink Agave for the first night to set the mood for my foodies family. Should you change it to Rojo? Now, that's totally up to you. I usually recommend Gumbe for the first night just because it's a social experiment, and you do get to meet your fellow cruisers, your fellow sailors that way. So usually if you're looking for something to do on the first night, I usually recommend Gumbe as the first night. But in terms of Pink Agave Rojo, you can go to either one of them. Yeah, you can go to either one of them for sure. Alex, you're sailing past North Carolina, a little bit rocky, but we're still on target for the Dominican Republic. Awesome. Yeah, as far as I know, yeah, we're really starting to go up and down. I'm literally right on the back of the ship. If I went any further, I'd be walking out to the outdoor area, which we cannot go to right now. Again, all of the outer decks are closed. They do not want us going outside for obvious reasons. It's very slippery out there. It's very windy out there. It'd be very dangerous to be on the outer deck. So all of the outer decks on the ship are closed right now. I could get out on my balcony, but that was about it. So, Escape, that's the ship you're on, Alex. Thank you. What's the difference between Rojo and Pink Agave? Well, Rojo is Rojo by Razzle Dazzle. So it is Spanish tapas style predominantly. And then Pink Agave is your elevated Mexican restaurant. So that's the difference. But then at brunch, Razzle Dazzle still has the some of those classic dishes from the original Razzle Dazzle, which we still haven't done. Maybe we'll just walk down there today.
We have a reservation for later.
Okay. Today?
No.
Oh, okay. Hotel recommendations for San Juan. The only, the one that I really like booking my clients into is called the Casablanca, especially if you're going one night before the cruise or a night or two before the cruise or after the cruise. You can basically walk it. You can almost walk it from the cruise ship. It's in Old San Juan. You just walk up the hill. It's this really cute little place. They've got a rooftop patio kind of a thing, so you can look down on the ports. So yeah, So it's called Casablanca. So that's what I would recommend. With all three.
Yes.
Silver Librarian is asking if they have vegetarian options. Well, Richard Branson is a vegan, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so because Richard Branson is a vegan, they are very vegetarian and vegan friendly across the board on all of the lady ships.
There's usually at least one option. So it may be something where you don't want to book the restaurant multiple times because you just have the one option. But they do have a vegetarian/vegan option in every restaurant.
By the way, in Boston, there is a vegan ramen place called Red White. Holy crap. We didn't even know when we walked in. But literally everything is vegan. It was beyond belief good. Diane, you're on the Brilliant Lady. You should come on up. We're in Gun Bay. We're hanging out in Gun Bay right now, up on deck 15, literally the very back of Gun Bay. So you should come on up and say hello. Douglas Cole, do I Virgin Voyages for the Mexican Riviera? Yeah, I mean, I can't remember exactly what their itineraries are right now, but I mean, I recommend Virgin Voyages pretty much anywhere you want to go. Just Alaska, Alaska, I don't think it's the best choice for Alaska, but certainly for the Mexican Riviera, absolutely, you can do that. Let's see, Aaron. So Aaron, what Virgin Voyages is doing right now? So you had Pink Agave on the Valiant Lady, but you did not have Rojo. So what Virgin Voyages has realized is having 4 identical ships, not the best idea. so they're taking Razzle Dazzle on all of the ships and they're renovating them as they go into dry dock. So when Scarlet Lady went into dry dock, Razzle Dazzle was converted to the Lucky Lotus. So in the evenings, it's an Asian restaurant. Here on the Brilliant Lady, she had not launched yet, so they took her back in the dry dock and they renovated Razzle Dazzle, and she is Rojo, which is a Spanish tapas restaurant. Now, Valiant Lady, Resilient Lady have not gone in the dry dock yet. They will be getting a makeover for Razzle Dazzle, but they're not announcing anything yet. I am hopeful. I'm hopeful one of them will be an Indian restaurant. That would be awesome. So yeah, that's what we're hoping, that one of them will become an Indian restaurant.
So Silver Librarian, I'll let you know that sometimes if you ask for, they don't give it to you, but if you ask for a specific vegetarian menu, at least on other cruise lines, you can get a whole menu with a bunch of options.
Yeah.
So that's something. And Patricia was just telling me, our friend Patricia was telling us that in Pink Agave, they made her a vegetarian enchilada that she said was amazing, which is not on the menu. So you can always ask, and they may be able to do something different for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so always ask. I mean, usually Princess is very good about vegetarian options, but sometimes you do have to ask. And that's true of any cruise line. If you're on a ship and you don't see something, just ask. If they've got the product, if they've got a recipe, sometimes they can just throw together something for you.
Sometimes, even though the main menu, like I said, does have a vegetarian option, if you ask for a vegetarian menu specifically, it will have more options on it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Is Virgin Voyage? Oh wait, somebody else said. Oh, where are we? We are somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean right now. We're going through the nor'easter. We're heading south. So when we started the show, we were somewhere just south of Philadelphia, but we're way out to sea. There's an app called Cruise Mapper that you can actually bring up the Brilliant Lady on the map and see exactly where we are. But typically, we would be hugging the coastline as we go down south. because it's a more straight shot. But what the captain has done, he's brought his way out to sea to kind of get around the nor'easter as much as possible. But you know, we are taking the brunt of it right now. It is you're seeing the phone shake. You guys are seeing the laptop shake over here. So yeah, we're in the brunt of it, but the ship is handling it brilliantly. I mean, absolutely brilliantly. The brilliant lady being brilliant. Chris wants to know, is Virgin Voyages still doing the status match? To my knowledge, they are, but you have to book first. You don't status match. You have to book first, and then they will status match you because you need your booking number in order to do it. So, and generally, depending on your level, they will only bring you in at Blue Extras. They used to bring you in at Deep Blue Extras, which is they only have three levels. Yeah, so Blue Extra, Deep Blue Extra, and then just Sailor. And but now they bring you in at Blue Extras. So you're going to get some perks on the ship. No savings or anything like that, but some perks on the ship. But if you want a status match, you have to book first, then status match. And as far as we know, that may be ending around in December. They keep threatening to end it in December and then launch something new, so we'll just see what happens. Alex wants to know, can I please recap the Princess changes? Can you apply the non-refundable fare toward another cruise, or do you forfeit the fare if you have to cancel? So Princess so what they've really done, they've had non-refundable fares all along, but they never advertised them. They always advertise the refundable fare.
Well, refundable deposit.
The refundable deposit, yeah. So the refundable deposit, and then the entire fare was refundable until final payment. Now what they're saying is that the deposits are going to be non-refundable, and that's what they're going to lead with. They're going to lead with the non-refundable fare, and that's the deposit. So if you, let's see, can you apply the non-refundable fare towards another cruise? Yes, but there is going to be a penalty, most likely, just like what Royal Caribbean and Celebrity does, where there's a $100 penalty to switch ship and sail date. Princess does not do that right now because it's a refundable deposit. So it's generally cancel one and then rebook you on to another. But that's the biggest thing. So Princess is now going to lead with the non-refundable fare. So all their fares are going to be lower when you look at them online. And then if you want the refundable deposit, the fare will be a little bit higher. That's the biggest change that they're making. And it's going to appear that, you know, everything's gotten much cheaper. But for those of you who are used to just seeing, you know, the cruise fare and knowing that, hey, it's 100% refundable, no final payment, it's not quite going to be 100% refundable. The deposit won't be. But what they're also doing, too, is they're saying, hey, if you do a non-refundable deposit, we're going to do a half price to start with. So if it's $100 per person, it's going to be $50 per person for the non-refundable deposit. Yeah.
And do you know how they're going to deal with price matching now if prices go down?
They didn't say anything about that in there.
Because before you had to cancel and rebook, but with this new...
Right. So we don't know everything about everything. I mean, there is a PDF that I can pull up and look at, but we'll just, and this all starts on October 15th. So anybody who wants to do a price match after October 15th, that will come into play because it is a cancel and rebook. So when we cancel after October 15th, you're going to be rebooking at the current terms and conditions. You will not be rebooking at your old terms and conditions. So yeah, that is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. When we did Explora, what a great cruise line. What itinerary did you do, Mediterranean or something else? What itinerary would we do with them next? Great question. So the first one that we did was Barbados to Miami. It was a 7-night or 8-night cruise.
7.
We flew down to Barbados and then took the ship back up to Miami. The only thing I wish we'd have done was spent maybe 1 or 2 more days in Barbados. It was absolutely beautiful. We just spent 1 night there. Kind of wish we'd have done maybe 2 or 3 nights there. It was so pretty. And what I've been considering for them next, well, now that they have all 6 ships on sale, yes, they do have all 6 ships on sale if you go far enough out. They're now starting to do like some Northern Europe, I believe. Yes, the Mediterranean is beautiful. They're coming around to Alaska. I would seriously consider them for Alaska for the right itinerary. So I don't know yet. To me, it almost doesn't matter. I just want to get on their ships again. We have been talking about a group. I have a great idea for a group cruise. I have not been able to pull it together yet. That would be a Caribbean cruise if we did that particular one. But I think, I have yet to have a client go on Explora who has come back and said, "Oh, I didn't like that." They usually book another one. So Explora is they really have something going there.
Oh.
And I wish that some of that mindset and some of that service would come back over to MSC. So what were you going to say?
Although now I can't remember.
Okay. So
Gone. In the brain, out of the brain.
Yeah. For the person who's asking about an app, so Cruise Mapper is an app. So yes, Cruise Mapper is an app, and it's also on the website.
Yes,
so
map as in the thing you.
Yeah. So we're due east of Washington right now, Washington, D.C. Okay, yep. And we are way out. We are way out at sea. So typically, like I said, we would be probably hugging the coastline. And can you believe, by the way, that I'm actually still alive? I mean, this is crazy, right? Typically in weather like this, the satellites are just knocked out. Like there's just too much rain interfering and the clouds are interfering. So this is absolutely spectacular that I'm even able to continue to do this show here. Johnny, have we been on the Icon? I've been on the Icon and the Star of the Seas, both of the Icon class ships. They are phenomenal. It's interesting, when I talk to people about that, and they just go, "Oh, 7,000 people. Oh my God. Oh, that's way too many people." It's actually not. It's actually not. Those ships are built for 7,000 passengers. So if they really wanted to, they could probably put more on there. Where you feel the crowds is when on embarkation day, because everybody comes into the promenade and just go, "Oh wow," and they don't move. And then during the balloon drop, which is the first night, the whole promenade is jammed because everybody wants to pop balloons. I guess that's the thing. But otherwise, it is just I've done some videos of like walking through the promenade at 8 o'clock at night. It's just nobody there. You're just kind of walking through. So these ships are designed. If you gave me a choice between the Icon and the Oasis class, I would take the Icon every single time because I think they've really cleaned up the flow. It's easier to walk around the ship. They've made the promenade much wider, so it's easier to walk through there. The Central Park is now connected to the promenade. That Pearl Cafe is one of the most beautiful coffee shops at sea. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really like the Surfside. I like that we can actually see out the back. So if you get a Surfside balcony, which is where Stephanie and I were staying on the Star, you actually have an ocean view. You can look back. If you get a nice spot towards the back of Surfside, you can look right out the back. It's actually a rather pretty view looking back there. I kind of wish they didn't have that big crown and anchor thing. It'd be an even better view, but I get why they did that. And yeah, I think the restaurants are better on there. Love the Pearl Cafe. The water park is legit on the back. So yeah, it is a really good ship. Those Icon class ships, don't knock them just because there's 7,000 people on them. I think if you actually went on, you would be shocked at just how lovely. I mean, they are beautiful ships. They really are beautiful ships. Yes, there's a lot of kids, but they are beautiful ships.
Personally, is why I would, if I'm selling them, I would do it when the kids are in school.
Correct. I was not prepared to like the Icon. I was just like, I had that same mindset going in. I'm like, oh man, it's going to be 7,000 people. I can't believe it. But no, other than embarkation and the balloon drop, it was fine. It was absolutely fine. By the way, I'm going to remind you folks that I am Walter with Where's Walter Travel. We book cruises, land, luxury, expedition. Our services are truly 100% free to you. Wherever you're watching, I've got links in my bio. I've got links in the description. And you can go to where'swaltertravel.com to reach out to us. And we will be happy to help you plan your travels. So you're welcome, Johnny, to reach out. Sassy wants to know, are we using regular Wi-Fi or premium? I am using Work from Sea. I'm using the very top tier. I get that every single time I come on. Pretty much any ship I go on, whatever the top is, that is the one I'm going to go with. So on here, it is work from sea. Now with Deep Blue Extras, we get the premium. So my upgrade price would not as much as like if you were going from basic up to top. But if you want to stream it all from the ship, you've got to have the premium. And if you want to use a VPN, which I use while I'm traveling, then you're supposed to have the work from sea. But again, whether I have work from sea or not, there's usually the Wi-Fi doesn't work at all when we've got conditions like this. In fact, not even conditions like this, just rain, just heavy rain usually knocks out the satellite. So I'm actually completely blown away. And by the way, if you are just tuning in and you're wondering where the heck I am, we're on the Brilliant Lady. Somebody said we are due east of Washington, D.C. right about now. We're heading south to Charleston, so we're going through the nor'easter. It's just no other way around that. We have to go through it to get south. Captain doing a brilliant job of getting us as far away from it as possible. And I will say the Brilliant Lady is brilliant. We have been on other ships in conditions, not quite as bad as this, and the whole top of the ship, like you can't walk straight to save your life. Here, you can still walk straight. We're on deck 15. Yeah, Rebecca can't walk straight when it's calm, so don't go by her. So, ooh, that was a big one.
I'm not the only one.
That was a big one. How about that? As I say, how wonderfully she's handling it. She just got shook by a big one. I really don't know. I guess it's a wave crashing in. I haven't quite figured out why the ship just suddenly gets a big hit like that. It almost feels like we hit something. But there you go. You just saw that one live. And honestly, there's I saw somebody commented, "Oh, there's no way I'd get on that ship. There's no way I'd get on that ship." I mean, I trust that the captains know what they're doing. The bridge crew knows what they're doing. They know what the ship. The thing is, all these cruise ships, they're capable of handling like really gnarly weather. We're just not used to them going through the gnarly weather because they stay away from it. But the ships, sometimes they do have to go through it, like on the Atlantic crossings, on the Pacific crossings, sometimes in Alaska, and sometimes when we're repositioning the ship from the north down to the south. We have to go through the storm. They're just trying to find the best path through it. And I guarantee you, we did not go through the absolute worst part of the storm. Yes, we're getting knocked around a bit. You can see it. I know you guys can see the white cats behind me and everything going on. So, and this is not the worst of it. So hopefully my GoPro is still out there. My GoPro's been rolling on the storm for about 4 hours now. So hopefully that's still going. So I see Aaron mentions the Impossible Burger for brunch at Razzle Dazzle. One of my favorite guilty pleasures on here is the French toast burger that they make up here in the burger bar. It is 2 thick slices of French toast. It's got like scrambled eggs, and then it's got a burger. I want to have it on here, but I need to make sure that somebody is with me because I can't eat the whole thing. I'll take half of it and share half with somebody else because it is an insane amount of food, but it's really good. It's really good. So speaking of great food, oh my word, we did a food tour yesterday in Boston. Highly recommend it. We booked it through Get Your Guide. It was a secret food tour of the North End. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And what was kind of cool about it, it wasn't just the North End of Boston. It was, we started out with traditional clam chowder. We started off with your traditional Boston, New England. And then we transitioned up to the North End where we went into the Italian Center. Oh my God. It was so good. I think it's possibly the best food tour that we've ever been on.
And I'm not a humongous cannoli fan, but literally these were the best cannolis I've had in my entire life.
Yeah.
And largely due to the fact that they filled them as you order.
Yeah, that's what the guide told us. The most popular is
Mike's.
place is called Mike's, but they actually pre-fill their cannolis and then they put them out on display, so they're going to start getting soggy. And they got 100 flavors, but when you got 100 flavors, you can't make them all well. This place only had 4 flavors, and they filled the cannolis as you ordered them. So they were like crunchy, they were beautiful, the flavor was amazing. They weren't too big, they were just the right size. So good, so good. And that was Modern Pastry, something like that. I think
Modern.
it's called Modern. Now the thing about it is, man, it was Saturday. The lines were so long to get into these places. Regina Pizza, Modern Pastry, everything. But because we were on the tour guide, had everything scheduled ahead. So he just went inside, got the stuff, and brought it out. So it was great. So, Jeannie wants to know, were we on the Brilliant Lady September 10th? We were. September 10th through the 15th. We were on there. We had a group of about 200 people that were doing a user group on that particular sailing. So that's one of the cool things. Virgin Voyages is well set up if you want to do a corporate event, you want to do some training. I would say up to about 300 people is probably the maximum amount of people that you would want to bring on here. So, yeah, I would. So if you ever want to do a corporate event, we had 200 folks on that September 10th sailing. It was a fabulous event, so much fun. They were doing the keynote speeches in the red room, which just looked, it looked like an Apple presentation. It looked fabulous. And then we had breakouts all around the ship. So yeah, it was really, really good. So Boston, you're born and raised in the North End. I'll tell you what, I love the North End. It was great. And I got to say that Modern Pastry was so good. And then Bova, we wanted to get into Bova, but Bova, again, had that long line. Bova is the one that's open 24 hours in the North End. And it looks so good. So good. So, Betty, you just got back from New York, Canada, New England on Celebrity. Great trip. You experienced the storm, but the ship did well. Were you on the Silhouette? I can't remember, Betty. Were you on the Silhouette? Did we see you in Boston? I didn't even think about looking up to see if you were on the Silhouette, because we came in a day early to Boston. We got 2 days in Boston instead of one. So, hey, Tara, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Wish you guys were here with us. We're having a ball. Amazing adventures. You were supposed to go to Bermuda, but then they changed your itinerary to go to Canada. That does happen. In fact, Halifax had like 5 or 6 ships in the day before we came in, because some of the ships got sent in different directions because of storms. This is just one of those things where there's no way to avoid the storm. We have to go through it because the ship has to get down to Miami. If it was so bad that we couldn't go through it, they probably would have held us somewhere, or they may have just like run out to sea north just to get the ship out of the way and then started south. But we're going through it. The captain has kept us up to date. They alerted us and said it's going to be a little rough. But these ships are handled for it. It's amazing how much these ships can really take. We just don't know, because they spoil us, right? They spoil us and they keep us in all the nice little smooth areas. And if the ship rocks a little bit, it moves. God, did you feel that? Yes, we're on water. The ships move. They rock a little bit from time to time. And today, you're not going to forget that you're on a ship. Today, you're on a ship. We are rocking. We're rolling. We're having a good time.
The rocking is putting me to sleep, though.
I know Rebecca's starting to fall asleep over here. She's like, just don't lay down on that cushion, otherwise you're going to be out. Christian, what cruise are we on? We are on the Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady. We are somewhere off the coast of Washington, D.C., heading south. The captain has brought us way out to sea to try to avoid this nor'easter as much as possible. But we started in Quebec on October 3rd. And on October 16th, we're going to bring this ship into Miami for the very, very first time. And then she's going to start her winter season on October 16th, doing some really lovely itineraries. Hey, if you folks have want to get out to the Caribbean this winter and you want some nice, longer itineraries out of Miami, that's what the Brilliant Lady is going to be doing. I think she's got some up to 12 days, maybe 13 days. I don't know. But I think like 7 to 12 or 13 days are the itineraries that Brilliant Lady is doing from Miami. So if you're looking for some good stuff to do, in fact, New Year's Eve, holy crap, New Year's Eve, man, Virgin Voyages knows how to do New Year's Eve. You got 4 ships in the Caribbean doing New Year's Eve, because you haven't made your New Year's Eve plans yet. Oh man, this is a good one. Oh, Betty, darn it, we should have. You were in Boston September 29th and October 10th. Oh, we were there on the 10th. Oh, bummer. We should have reached out to you. Darn it, because we came in a day early. We were supposed to be there on the 11th, but we came in on the 10th, and I didn't even think to reach out to you. So, yes, Lynn. So Lynn is on the ship with us right now. She's part of our group. The ship is holding its own. Premium Wi-Fi has maintained on the phone and the laptop. I'm telling you, the ship is just crazy. Curtis, the music you're hearing, that's the ship. Yeah, yeah. The thing about Virgin Voyages, there is music everywhere, everywhere, except in your room. So there's really no way to avoid the music. Even if I was sitting outside, I would have music out there. Virgin really like, well, you know, they're a music brand, right? That's their legacy of music. So yeah, there's music everywhere.
It's not super loud.
Not in here, no, not right now. It can be louder.
And it does vary. Like, it's interesting. You walk between various venues, and the music changes as you go along the ship.
Yeah, yeah. So
if you don't like the music where you are, try somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. It literally changes. It's kind of like Disney World. The music will change in various zones, and they do that on purpose. You know, like when you go to Sip Champagne Lounge, it kind of gets jazzy, which is actually really cool. Nurse Tara wants to know where we're sitting. We're sitting in Gumbay at the very, very back of deck 15. So we're behind the galley. So one of the things that they do now, because the ships are sailing almost full, this is a sold out sailing. They open up Gumbay for lunch and breakfast for the galley. They're not serving in here, but this is now an extension of the galley because they run out of seating in the galley. So they do that over here. Amazing Adventures. It must be a bad month. October must be a bad month to try to go to Bermuda. I mean, it's just the luck of the draw. It's the luck of the draw. Really, you know, because the Bermuda cruises run all year long. So it's just kind of the luck of the draw if you're going to hit a storm or not. This is kind of a freak storm, you know, a nor'easter. But it is what it is. Or, you know, sometimes you have the weather down there. So, yeah, it's just kind of the luck of the draw. You know, October, I don't know that it's any worse or better than any other time. It is the end of hurricane season.
Not really. Hurricane season doesn't end
till November. Yeah,
November
I know, but
30th.
Getting close to the end of it anyway. But
I did read an article this morning that said that while generally the peak of hurricane season is August and September, in South Florida it's October.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go.
So bonus bit of knowledge for today.
The Sassy wants to know if we've done afternoon tea on Virgin Voyages. We've done it multiple times. I think it's one of the better afternoon teas at sea. You do have to pay for it. However, you can use your bar tab because you're paying at the bar. So if you have bar tab, you can actually use your bar tab to pay for. And it's pretty much since we started sailing, it's been the same price. It's $19 for afternoon tea, and it's $35 if you want champagne. That is per person. And it really hasn't changed. And if you want any extra of whatever, you just ask them and they'll bring it out. But it's a lovely tea. I love that they serve it actually on the tower. So yeah. So it's a very, very good afternoon tea. So I see that TikTok wants me to solve a puzzle, but they can't quite bring up the puzzle. So hopefully it will it'll come up so I can finish that. Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, I'm on the Brilliant Lady. Yes, we have a nor'easter going on behind me. The captain is doing his best to take us around it. The waves have gotten much higher and much lower. I would say they're lower again from where they were. I'll tell you, at one point it was very, very angry out there. Very angry out there. So yeah, but right now it's not so bad. So if you're just tuning in, we're on the Brilliant Lady. I'm still stunned that we're even able to do this, that we're able to go live during this much of a storm. It's just crazy out there.
Silver Librarian, bar tab is not the same thing as Sailor Loop.
It is not. No,
bar tab can only be used for paid drinks. Sailor Loop can be used for anything, including paid drinks.
Yeah.
But it can be used in the stores. It can be used to pay
Sailor
for
Loop
restaurants.
is onboard credit, basically. Just think of it as onboard credit, cash to spend. Sailor Loop literally only for drinks, and that does include
bar tab only for drinks.
Bar tab only for drinks, so that does include the juices, the fresh juices in the back of the ship. It does include your coffee, any paid drink, any drink that you have to pay for. You cannot take it into the booty free store and buy liquor with it, so you cannot do that.
But you can buy liquor with Sailor Loop in.
Yes.
Buy it in the booty free store.
You sure can. Yeah, I don't know if this puzzle thing is going to happen on TikTok, so I'm just going to let it keep going. We'll see what happens. Brenda, it's cool that they open gun bay for seating. Yes, so they do open it up. It's something new that we've seen on the sold out ship, just because there's just not enough room in the galley. And honestly, this is the first time that I've seen this not completely full. I think there's a lot of people who are probably hanging out in their rooms, or they're hanging out much lower on the ship because they don't like the movement. This is one of those days that you know that you're on a cruise ship. I mean, there's just no way around it. You know that you're on a cruise ship right now. We are out in the Atlantic Ocean and we are moving around. I mean, I guess we got to be ready for this because we're doing a transatlantic crossing in November of next year. So we'll be coming on a ship that is much smaller, much smaller than this one. Okay, I'm going to try closing that out and see if it'll bring it back up. I don't know what it's doing. We'll see. TikTok may quit out and I may have to relaunch it. So I don't know. TikTok is acting a little weird. It usually does this thing where I have to answer a puzzle to keep going, but they're not showing it. So I don't know. We'll just keep talking and then see what happens. Let's see. Vegas Nights, you like Virgin Voyages, but they closed way too many parts of the galley too early. You know, that's a very good point, and it is. I have become good friends with Nirmal, who is the CEO of Virgin Voyages. They are one of the best companies to work with. Just a quick aside about Virgin Voyages, which is one of the reasons why I've supported them so much. Is my representative Tamika is literally the only travel representative who spent any time with me before before I really got started. Like I was literally just getting started. I hadn't sold any Virgin Voyages yet. I had barely sold any cruises yet. And she took an hour. She scheduled a coffee time with me. I met her. She's local. Met with her. We sat for an hour. She laid out, here's what the brand is all about. Because we had already sailed on Virgin. We liked Virgin. But she, laid out, this is what the brand is all about. This is what you need to understand. This is how you might want to start approaching, your business, like my business as a whole and everything. And so Virgin has been a huge supporter of Rebecca and I right from the get-go. And so it's kind of no surprise that we're top 10, top 100 sales agent for them our first 3 years in a row. It hasn't been announced yet, but I think we're going to be a top 100 again this year. And so I just love the brand, and they're very receptive. When I send them criticism or I send them feedback, I make sure that I offer some sort of solutions. And we have been talking about the galley, and I don't understand. You just mentioned ramen. That's one of the things I specifically said to Nirmal. I'm like, why is ramen not open at night? If you want a late night food, it's ramen, right? Ramen should be open until 2 a.m. And he did say, look, we're looking at things. We are looking around, trying to take some of the pressure off the restaurants downstairs. I think the ramen. What I think is they should have ramen open, late night every night, and then each night they could have like the panini station is open one night, the tacos are open one night, kind of a thing. Or maybe, it's one of those three is going to be open each evening. But I do think that they need to have a little bit more of the galley open than just dine and dash, sweet thing, burger bar, and the salad at night. No, you're absolutely right.
And a lot of the reasoning for doing that is because those people get pulled into
the flag.
Those people get pulled into the restaurants to work there. So they'll be, behind the scenes, the cooks and the chefs are being pulled to work in the restaurants. The servers are being pulled to work in the restaurants.
Yeah. So now, one of the things that Vegas Night that you mentioned is the diner gets long lines because not everybody wants to go to reservation. Absolutely. So the diner gets long lines, the burger bar gets long lines, even the salad bar gets long lines. So the way around that is to use this. Don't go stand in line. Just flip the flag up and let them come to you. I'm going to put it down so they don't come. But, the menus are right here. They sit on every table. Like we're in Gun Bay. They even have them in here. So here's the menu. And you just scan it, and then you can see the menu and everything that's being made, except some of the, like if you want to know what the daily specials are, you got to walk around and just see what they are. But then sit down, put the flag up, they're going to come take your order, and then they're going to bring you the food. So don't stand in line. Just order. You can order your coffee. You can order your bagels. You can order your salad, your burgers, your scrambled eggs, your whatever you want. Just order it through this thing. Just sit down. Don't go stand. I hate standing in those lines, so I don't. I just order this, and it probably takes less time to do this than it does to stand in line. So just skip the lines. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I like. I'm with you on the ramen. I think ramen should be open well into the evening. So, Sassy says, "What dish do I go home and think about?" Well, lately it's been the oxtail at Rojo. That's really, really good. Rebecca, is there one in particular that you like more than any? And then I've got a question about Viking.
I don't know.
Okay, she doesn't know. She likes food. We both like food. User Aliska, you love Viking cruises. You've been on 2 Ocean, 3 River. Can I help you book Portugal, Spain, Morocco in 27? Absolutely, we can. Viking is one of our travel partners, and we book their ocean, their expedition, and their river. So yeah, if you want to reach out, you're watching me on TikTok. So if you go to my bio, there is a link tree there, and one of the links is contact us. So you can set up an appointment with me, or just drop me an email. Or just go to where'swaltertravel.com, and there's a contact us, and you can set an appointment. So we require you to set up an appointment with us for your first meeting, because I want to get to know you. There's a whole set of questions that I like to ask, and then for each individual vacation, we want to make sure that I fully understand what you're trying to get out of the vacation, what your needs are, and then we can make sure that in this case you've got one picked out. But we want to make sure that I'm putting you in the right room, and that all the expectations of this cruise are going to be met. So yeah, just go ahead and set up a call. We are taking calls on the ship. My schedule is limited, just because I'm actually trying to enjoy this cruise a little bit. But I know I have some time this afternoon, and I certainly have time tomorrow. So today's a sea day, tomorrow's a sea day. So I certainly have some time. But if you don't see any time on my schedule, anybody watching this, you can also drop me an email and say, Walt, do you have time today or tomorrow to give a call? And if I do, I'll set up a call with you guys. But yeah, no, we'd love to help you. We book Viking, we book Silver Sea, we book. I know I'm blanking on all the names, but pretty much all. Oh, Oceana, Azamara, Explora. So yeah, no, we book them all. We do book them all. Scenic, Emerald. Now I'm going through the laundry list in my head.
Yeah, there's only really a few European lines that you don't book.
Yeah, somebody asked me yesterday about Fred Olsen, and I'm trying to find out. Fred Olsen is not listed. They are a small British line. There are some like P&O. I can't book P&O, but anybody that I can't book, like especially the British lines, I have a really good friend over in England. His name is Kieran. So if I can't book it, I'm going to send you over to Kieran, and then Kieran can book it for you. Kieran is fabulous. One of the beautiful things about the travel industry. Most of us understand, the vast majority of us understand there's not really competition between us. This is a huge industry. There's enough work out there for everybody. There's enough bookings out there for everybody. So we support each other. And I think a great example of that, I'm sure a lot of you guys know Danny Haar. Danny Haar does I think he is like the premier ship tour in the industry. If you want to know what a ship looks like, you look up Danny Haar, and he takes you through the whole ship. He takes you through all the rooms. And I met him on the Star of the Seas. Let me tell you, one of the most lovely people I have met in the industry, just one of the most lovely people that I've met. And it was actually a conversation that we had about, I know a lot of travel agents use my ship tours, and it's okay. Like there's enough work for everybody out there. It's just a lovely person, and that's how most of us are. So, so we do help each other. I don't even know how I got started on that conversation. So it seems like it seems like it gets brighter and then it gets darker, brighter and then it gets darker. But it's an interesting ride today. Today it's going to be the worst of it. Once we get through today, we're going to be below it. It's moving north. So once we get through today, it'll be better. So, but just today, Rebecca's literally falling asleep over here because she's getting shook to sleep.
I know, it's like rocking me to like a big giant cradle.
Yeah, like a big giant cradle. Monique, you're interested in cruising on the Brilliant Lady. What's our itinerary? This was a really cool itinerary. This is a combination Canada New England cruise and a repositioning cruise all in one. That's why we were intrigued by it. We started out in Quebec on October 3rd. Then we went through the St. Lawrence River. We did Halifax, Nova Scotia, St. John, New Brunswick. We were supposed to go to Eastport, Maine. In fact, we went to Eastport, Maine. We got there. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was just incredibly windy, and it was getting windier as the day was going on, and it was a tender port. If it was a pier, we easily would have gone in and spent the day in Eastport. But because it was a tender port, it was just not safe for the boats, for the little lifeboats to go.
No, getting people on and off would be very
because it doesn't take much. Like some people were looking at my picture going, wow, that doesn't look too bad. Those lifeboats really start rocking with not much swell. So Eastport, Maine was called off, but as we were leaving Eastport, the captain came on and said they had made arrangements for us to come in Boston a day early. So we got 2 days in Boston instead of one, and I mean 2 full days. We came in at 8 a.m. on the 10th, and we didn't leave until 8 p.m. on the 11th. So we got 2 full days in Boston, and that was fabulous. We got some extra tours in. We did a ghost tour. We did a history tour. We did the most fantastic food tour yesterday. So that was cool. And now, I mean, the captain warned us last night, hey, we're going to be in some rough weather. Now we are on our way to Charleston, South Carolina. We'll be there in 2 days. And then on October 16th, we will bring the ship into Miami. So it's a combination Canada, New England, and repositioning to bring it down to Miami for her winter season. And the Brilliant Lady has some absolutely stonking wonderful itineraries in the Caribbean for the winter season. When she's done with the winter season in March, she's going to go through the Panama Canal. She'll spend just a couple of weeks in Los Angeles doing Mexican Riviera. She will then reposition up to Vancouver, Canada. And then she will start her Alaska season kind of swapping off. She's going to start some cruises in Vancouver. She's going to start some cruises in Seattle. So yeah, she's a great ship. She really is a great ship. You can see that they're learning. They're learning as they build the ship. So as the ships go into dry dock, you're going to start seeing them get a little bit more modified based on what they've done here. So.
And I can tell you the Brilliant Lady is not doing this particular itinerary next year. I don't know if another ship is.
The Valiant Lady is coming up to New York in March for a little, like a few cruises, and then she's going to go across. Are we on the East Coast? Yes, we are now south of Washington, D.C. And it's definitely calming down. It's getting a lot calmer right now. So we're south of Washington, D.C. right now. Yeah, like I can actually see breaks in the clouds now. Like I don't see blue sky, but I see really bright sky. Yeah, you can kind of see it behind me, actually, how the clouds are kind of breaking. Let's see, over here on that side of me. But you can clearly see how the clouds are starting to break up. So the captain's done a great job. The seas have really calmed down, all of a sudden. So we're not getting the big crashing swell. Now we just got big rolling swells. So yeah, it's pretty remarkable. You guys were with us for the worst of it. So Monique, that's the one you have your eye on, LA, Mexico in April of 26. Yeah, I've got a couple of clients doing some of those. They've got a couple of Mexican Rivieras. The one thing that Virgin hasn't announced, and we were kind of waiting on it, was Hawaii. This would be a really fun ship to do Hawaii. Again, it's a warm weather ship. You got the 5 sea days heading out to Hawaii. You go around the island. You got 5 sea days coming back. I mean, I think this would be a fabulous ship for Hawaii. We're doing it if anybody wants to go with it. By the way, I haven't even mentioned any of our group cruises. We've got a whole bunch of group cruises coming up, including Hawaii. Let me just flip them up for those of you who are watching us over on the YouTube side. But really quick, number one, we have a Christmas markets cruise that is happening in December of 2027. That's going to be on the Avalon Waterways View. We're going to go from Basel, Switzerland to Frankfurt, Germany. And we have, I got to update that graphic. We have $400 per person saving, just period. Until we run out of staterooms that we can sell. So our rooms are $400 per person saving until we run out of rooms. So I need to update that graphic. If you want to come to Italy with us, We're going to, oh, no, this is Quebec to Miami. That's all done. You can't come on this one.
Not unless you're a really good swimmer.
If you don't have any Christmas plans yet for the holidays, you want to do a round trip Miami, we have a 12-day cruise. It's going to be on the Cunard Queen Elizabeth. I'm planning to get a tuxedo just because. I mean, why not? It's the Cunard Queen Elizabeth. December 18th through the 30th, 2025, we got Miami, San Juan, Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Martin, Tortola. 12-night cruise for Christmas, December 18th through the 30th. Now Rome. If you want to do Italy and Croatia with us. And again, if you just go to our website, where'swaltertravel.com, click on group cruises. You will find all of these cruises right there and all of the information about them. But October 23rd, 2026 through November 2nd, 2026, a 10-night celebrity constellation starting in Ravenna. We'll go to Split, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Messina, Salerno, Portofino, La Spezia, and then ending up in Civitavecchia, which is your gateway to get up to Rome. So basically, Venice to Rome is what that cruise is going to be. And then if you've got the time and the wherewithal, the very next cruise, the back-to-back cruise, is a 15-day transatlantic crossing to San Juan. That will have a couple of stops in Spain. We're going to stop in Morocco. We're going to stop in St. Martin, and then we're going to end up in San Juan. Rebecca and I will be on the ship for the full 25 days. That's going to be absolutely spectacular. Now in February, coming up in February, am I starting to see some sun? Oh, I thought I was starting to see some sun. We're going to go to Hawaii February 4th through the 20th of 2026. We're going to be on the Emerald Princess. Again, I kind of wish Virgin was doing that. That would be kind of cool. But on the Emerald Princess, we are going from LA to Honolulu, Hilo, Kahului, Kauai, and Ensenada. And I know I said at least one of those wrong, but it has 10 sea days. So if you've ever wanted to do like a transatlantic, trans-Pacific crossing, but you'd like to do it round trip, well, guess what? It's kind of like going to a transatlantic, but it's 10 sea days. So you're going round trip. So that is on the Emerald Princess, February 4th through the 20th, 2026, if you'd like to come with us on any of those. And then, of course, the big Tony and Jenny B cruise coming out of Philadelphia in April. We have over 200 people on this sailing. April 16th through the 23rd, 2026. Tony and Jenny B, who are on a group cruise right now, heading up to Boston with a big group on the Enchanted Princess. This will be on the Norwegian Jewel. We'll sail out of Philadelphia. We'll go to Bermuda overnight. Then we'll go to Charleston, South Carolina, which is where we're headed right now, and then back again. So if you want to join us on any of those group cruises, and I really hope you do get to come on at least one, go to where'swaltertravel.com and then go to the group cruise page. So are we going to Alaska? Not right now. No, we're headed down the East Coast. We're somewhere south of Washington, D.C. Is where we're out in the Atlantic Ocean. So we should be in Charleston, South Carolina in 2 days. We've got a sea day today, sea day tomorrow, and then we're in Charleston, South Carolina. Then we'll have another sea day before we end up in Miami. So yeah, so that's where we're headed, and we're coming out of it now. We are definitely coming out of it. The clouds are breaking up. The rain has really let up. The sea has really flattened out. So it is getting so much better right now. Yeah. So yes, it looks rough out there, but this ship is really handling it beautifully. I can't stress that enough. It's just really handling it beautifully. In fact, Rebecca's falling asleep. She's just getting rocked to sleep with all this rocking up and down motion. She's just like, she's going to be out. Fortunately, the show's almost over, so we got about 10 more minutes. And then we're going to get out of here. I don't even know what we're doing. Are we doing anything today? Any shows? Anything? What'd you say? What's for dinner? Rojo? Rojo is for dinner tonight, so that'll be good. I'm probably going to put all this stuff away and then get myself some lunch because it's about lunchtime up here. Yeah, so if you guys got any more questions about Virgin Voyages, about cruising in general, we're going to be here for another couple of minutes, and then we're going to wrap this up. But I'm just stunned. I am like blown away that we've been able to go live in the midst of this storm, because the Wi-Fi always goes out when it's stormy. It always goes out when it's stormy. So for Virgin Voyages, another big plus to you guys that you've been able to keep the Wi-Fi up during the heart of all this storming. So yeah, this is amazing. And again, we're sitting in Gun Bay, which is the Korean barbecue at the very, very back of deck 15. It's behind the galley. They open this up for seating when the ship is very full or sold out, just because there's not enough seating in the galley. So they open this up, which is really nice. Typically, you can sit out back on deck 15. All the outer decks are closed right now. Everything is closed outside right now. And good morning, Rick. How are you? Good to see you. And I will be answering your question. So a little later, I saw the email. Barbara, you have another friend interested in the Christmas market cruise. Fabulous, fabulous. We have like 52 people going on that one. And the ship only has 6. Woo, there was a big one. The ship only has like 67 suites. So we've got a third of the ship already. So let's see if we can fill it up. Keep sending people our way. That would just be a lot of fun. Anything goes. Have you done any Mediterranean cruises? So that's the one I was just talking about. That's going to be our first one. We have had 1 or 2 scheduled in the past, and we had to cancel both of them for, one reason or another. So in October 23rd, 2026, we will be going on the Celebrity Constellation. That ship, much smaller than this one. And then we're going to do a transatlantic crossing. So that should be really interesting, doing a crossing on an even smaller ship. Because this one's handling it. This one is a modern ship with a modern bow, modern stabilization. Wow, we are really going up and down. I'm looking out the back right now. Man, I would say we are going up and down. That last one there, that was a good 15, 20 feet that we just went like, woo, we just went way down and came way back up. So yeah, now we're stable. My goodness, that's crazy. But let's see. But yeah, so that'll be our first Mediterranean cruise. We've sold a ton of Mediterranean cruises. We've done a ton of research on them. And with the Mediterranean, it's interesting, going earlier in the season, going later in the season. That's when the crowds are going to be smaller. So that's why we're going in October, because we want the crowds to be smaller. In fact, it is the last cruise for that ship, and then she's going to come across. So we're going to do that. Are we on the East Coast? Yes, we're in that nor'easter right now. We're coming out of it. The captain typically, when you're just going south on a cruise ship, you're going to stay pretty close to the coast. He brought us way out. If you look at Cruise Mapper right now, you'll be able to see where the ship is. We are way out away from the coast, kind of going around the storm. Right now, we're actually coming out of it. If you were with us about a half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago, it was very dark outside. The wind was really lashing us, and the waves were way up. The waves have come way down in the past, say, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So, yeah. Can I do a post when I disembark in Miami if you notice any changes between the VV experience? Disembarking in Miami is straightforward. There's really nothing to it. If you're going to walk off with your bags, it opens up somewhere between 6:30 and 7, maybe 7:30. You just walk off. If you're getting your bags taken off the ship for you, they're all lined up by decks.
And so, in this case, we've already gone through customs.
Yeah, so we've already gone through customs. When we came into Eastport, the customs actually came onto the ship because it was a tender port. But we've already gone through customs, so we don't even have to go through customs when we get off the ship, which is good. But the Virgin Voyages has their own terminal in Miami, so the disembarkation is very straightforward. Can you get seats to the show when it's full on Brilliant? You got to line up early. It's one of the things that we talked about earlier. I was at a meeting. With Virgin Voyages now, 3.5 weeks ago, and that was a topic of discussion. When Virgin first launched, they had reservations for the shows. You actually had to make reservations. It didn't cost you anything, but you had to make reservations for the shows. Then a lot of sailors complained, we don't like reservations. But now that the ships are full, guess what? We need reservations again. So I would not be surprised if the reservations come back. I see that my phone is now tilted. But I would not be surprised, maybe even starting with the Miami sailings. I know that with the Miami sailings, which is the next one after this, there's a brand new show that's going to launch. They have one more brand new show that's going to launch. So maybe they'll launch the reservation system as well. Like as you come onto the ship, you'll reserve your seat. I really hope they do, because it's getting a little ridiculous with the lines are just getting so long, and then you're not guaranteed to get in. We're showing up about at least an hour early. Get in, because you got two lines. Now, keep in mind, the manor only holds about 240 people, 225 people, very small. And then the red room only holds about 465 people. So you've got the sailor line, which is the really, really long line, and then you got the rock star line. Rock stars are going to be let in first. Once the rock stars are in, then the sailors can go in.
And if you're a rock star, you don't really have to line up more than, say, 15, 20 minutes ahead.
Yeah, if you're a rock star, if you show up 10 minutes out, you're going to get in the venue. So, yeah. So you'll be on Friday. If you're a regular sailor, I would say at least 45 minutes before the show, you want to be online. If you're not, you may not get in the theater. It's just the way it is. Again, hopefully they're going to, who knows, but they may start the reservation system with you. The first sailing is when that new show is going to launch. So maybe they'll bring the reservations back. That was a long topic of discussion when I was there. And the CEO is coming on the ship in Charleston in a couple of days. So I don't know if he's staying on the ship to bring it into Miami, because this is going to be our big entrance into Miami. So, it's going to be very interesting. But Virgin needs to do something about the shows. You just really don't want to be standing in line for an hour waiting for these shows. The shows are worth it for the most part. If I'm being very honest, Out of Time was not our favorite show. It wasn't like the best show.
It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It had moments. It really had moments. And some people really liked it. Some of our crew really liked it. We've got a small group on here. They really liked it. For us, performers were good. It wasn't the performers at all. It's just the show itself was a little weird. We really want to get into Murder in the Manor. That's the one that everybody's talking about. They're saying that it's really, really good. Murder in the Manor. And they're saying it's a really good show. They were supposed to do like 4 more shows on it because it's a 13-night cruise, but they had to cancel some because somebody got sick or ill or something happened in the cast. So they had to cancel some of them on it, unfortunately. So, but they do have one scheduled for the last night. So hopefully we're going to get to see that one. So, folks, I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel. If we can, oh my goodness, I didn't realize how much I was shaking on the phone. If we can help you in any way with your travels, just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. We are on the Brilliant Lady. We are coming out of we're still going to be in the nor'easter for a while, but we've got breaks in the cloud. So we are definitely coming out of it. So hopefully we'll be out of this soon. But thank you so much for joining in. If we can help you in any way with your travel, just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. Our services are truly 100% free to you. We do not charge any fees at all for our services. So if we can help you, just reach out, let us know. We would love to help you. So wherever you are in this amazing world, thanks for joining in, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys. We'll see if this works. I don't.